Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to Someone's Coming to Class. Welcome to day 2 out of 111 days. This is our new series. This is my cat, so say hi, baby. We're going to be making a video, so you don't need to stay right in front of the camera. You can come right over here. So my name's Grace. Okay, that's enough. My name is Grace. I'm a psychic medium and an energy healer, and this is our second video in this series, so you can join us, subscribe, and watch us here on YouTube. I'm so excited to practice. I have an oracle deck that I'm going to pull a card from, and then we're going to do a short healing, energy healing transmission and meditation. I also have some rose water that I'm gonna spritz, and perhaps I'll get my friend out of here. Love you, but we can't stay here for the whole video. I also have my light that I was gonna put on, but I don't know if we need it. I feel like the vibes are like cozy, but I guess that is nice for the quality. Do you like scary stories? So anyway, my name's Grace. We're gonna do this practice today. So before we start, let's just close our eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then we're gonna get into the practice. So closing our eyes, I'm gonna invite you to bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly button, and we will deep breathe here together. So breathing in, exhale out the mouth. And just rolling your shoulders a little bit. Breathing in. Exhale. Rolling the shoulders to the front now. Another deep breath. Breathing in. Resting at the center. Exhale. And I hope that, you can hear the sound of the rain. It's pouring rain right now. And if you can't hear the sound in the video, just imagine the sensation of rain trickling on your skin. Little drops pouring every few moments. Doesn't feel overwhelming. Doesn't feel uncomfortable. Just a refreshing mist, cleansing and clearing any energy we no longer need to hold. We ask to come to this space, this healing transmission space today, to receive whatever it is we need. Maybe that is relaxation. Maybe that is energy. Maybe that is awakening. But wherever we are throughout time and space, whenever you come across this video, we ask that the energy come forward to surround you and me, surround us. We surround us in a circle of white light, healing, bright light. For protection, strength, and knowledge. Now that we have grounded into the space, we ask the energy to flow as we go into this short reading. Energy flowing from our feet to the top of our head and back down. This morning I was going on a walk. Well, this afternoon, but that's not important. But clearly it is, because I have to mention it. this afternoon I was going on a walk and I was asking, okay, what is the transmission going to be about like today? And like, what is the vibe? And they were also saying, one, you don't need to like think about it ahead of time. That's not really the point of this practice. It's really to be just opening up to what the energy needs in the moment. But alongside that, they said that we want to bring in some Karuna Reiki. So Karuna Reiki is one form of Reiki energy healing. I'm a Reiki master, which means I teach Reiki and can help other people learning more about the modality. And also to me, being a Reiki master means that I've dedicated myself to learning about Reiki and different metaphysical practices, and that is the dedication of my life to master those arts. And just because I'm a Reiki master doesn't mean that I am the master now. I am continuing to evolve every day, and I think that that shows up in so many aspects of our life. And they say like it takes, I think, 10,000 hours, like according to all the biohacker dudes and the people that write the books. I've heard this many times, but I have no idea who said it, but that it takes like 10,000 hours to master something. I've definitely spent 10,000 hours or more, but I don't feel like I'm ever gonna be truly a master. I feel like that's just what I have dedicated my life to. But so with Reiki, there's many different streams and many different forms that it comes in. And Reiki just basically means ray of energy, universal life force energy. To me, that is the energy that's within all things. So we can channel that energy. But when I work with Reiki, I also think of it as the energy of unconditional love. There is no end to it. There is no conditions. There is no what ifs. There is no, you have to do something in order to be able to receive it. You have to like do this and do that in order to be able to get it and obtain it. No, it just continues to flow and goes exactly where it needs to go and shows up when it needs to. And yeah, there are, you know, barriers to get there in terms of, okay, you need to take a class, you need to be attuned, you need to do this and that in order to be a Reiki practitioner. But anyone can tap into the energy of Reiki, God, source, frequency, any kind of energy healing technique is innate to us. And I think it is important if you want to study something specific as Reiki to take a class and to get attuned, because otherwise it's not that stream of energy. It's a different form, and that's great and just amazing as it is. But if you wanted to learn Reiki, I think it's important to learn the history and the basics and how things work in that system to be able to quote unquote master it. But today they were saying that we wanted to bring in Shanti, which is a symbol that we use in Karuna Reiki. And in Karuna Reiki, there's chanting and all sorts of really fun stuff involved. I love the chanting. I love to chant. It feels really good. And when I first got into it, it definitely felt like silly and uncomfortable, and like it still does sometimes. But I think that's why it's powerful, because it gets you out of your comfort zone. And when you're chanting, when you're making these noises, not only are you like vibrating that energy like through your whole body, you know, through your voice and through your throat, but you're also not having as much space in your mind to be thinking in that moment. So I think it can be a very meditative practice, and I think that's why it is used so much in so many different religions throughout the world, because it is a very easy way to get into a trance like state. But we'll get to the Karuna Reiki in a moment. That's just a little background about Reiki. And Reiki, if you don't know, I'm happy to talk way more about it for 300 years, and you can always take a class with me or with another teacher. But I'll briefly just share for anyone who doesn't know anything at all about Reiki or energy healing. Reiki is one form of energetic healing, and it can be typically you would think of a hands-on healing experience, like someone's lying on a massage table or on a couch and you're putting your hands on them, and the energy channels through your hands and flows into that person's body, and it's relaxing. It relaxes the muscles, relaxes the physical body and the areas that you're physically touching, as but it's also working on your energy body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, your mental body. So it can help clear a lot of different clear space for a lot of different emotions to come through. But Reiki is also can be utilized as they call it distance healing technique, and that is basically what we're doing when we're doing a video, is that we're infusing the video with the healing energy. So even though we're not together, or you're not sitting next to me, or you're not being touched by me or another healer, you're still able to tap into the energy. And you can utilize distance healing on yourself as well. Like you could make a video or a meditation and listen back to it, and send yourself healing. But you can also do really fun, exciting, cool things like sending yourself healing into the future or into the past. I'm going to a concert soon, so maybe I'll send myself healing. This is a reminder for myself, because I'm getting this little message, but send myself healing into the future because I get scared driving. So just, you can do things like that to help yourself feel more grounded in your experience. And yeah, let's not go off too much on a tangent. But I picked these cards and I love them because it also says on the deck, love has no conditions. So that's really what I feel like with the energy of Reiki is. It's this unconditional, endless stream of energy. There is no you need to do this in order to do that. It just happens, it just flows, and it continues to flow as long as it needs to integrate. And so when we do these transmissions and you're receiving the healing, even though we're not together, it's still can work on many different levels of the body, and you're able to access that healing even though we might not like see it in the time. Some people watching this video are extremely sensitive, and you might be feeling things tingling, warmth, different sensations, cold, maybe you're itchy. Like there's a lot of physical sensations that can come up with these healing transmissions and with energy healing in general. But sometimes it's like you might not feel anything and you're just like, okay, that was an interesting little video I watched on YouTube. But then later you see, oh, okay, something shifted in my mind or in my body. And it might not be like as direct as like that Reiki changed my whole life, but it's like it gives space in your energy body for things to move and clear, so that space is able to be made for things to shift. So it's not necessarily that the Reiki is changing your life, you're changing your life. But if we can use energy healing to move energy within our body, mind, and spirit that is taking up unnecessary space, then we're able to actually take action on the things that we want in order to change our life. So this deck, I wanted to pull a card for us. I think I'm going to pull 3 cards is what I'm hearing. My friend gave me these cards for my birthday, shout out, and this is only the second time I've used them, and they're really cute, and I just felt drawn to them tonight, and I really feel like it is that reminder that love has no conditions. And we're talking about the energy healing aspect of that, but then we can also think about that in terms of the idea of God, source, universe, whatever word is comfortable for you. I think universe is different than God, to be honest, but like if that's the word that's comfortable for you, like go with it. I'm getting a lot of things around that, but I don't know if we want to go into all that right now. Hold on. We're getting a psychic message. It's kind of like, layered. Because they're the guides are talking. So the guides are talking about how the universe isn't really the same concept of love has no conditions. God is, and if source is a more comfortable word, we can use that. God, source. That could also be goddess, is what they say as well. Oneness, love, oneness, vibration. All these are the same things. Love has no conditions, unconditional love, this endless stream of creation and life force and love. The universe is different, is what the guides are saying, because they say everything is contained within the universe, and that can be good, bad, indifferent, in between, conditional and unconditional. The universe contains everything, and that it also contains humanity, which is, we have free will, so we have flawed experiences of love because we might not be able to hold space in the moment for the belief and the connection of the true unconditional love, because we haven't felt that before. So when we tap into the energy of God, source, goddess, oneness love, oneness universe, they say not the universe. I keep saying it because I'm used to saying it. I keep saying it because when you say it, they say not the universe, because the universe is duality. The universe contains duality, and it's different, and it's not bad. We can call upon the universe, and we can call upon duality, because sometimes we need darkness, sometimes we need light, sometimes we need the in-between, sometimes we need the middle earth, the middle plane, boop, 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 the middle plane. So yeah, when I look away, if you don't know anything about me, when I look away, I'm like looking at stuff. I'm a psychic, so I see a lot of things visually in my mind's eye, or it's like in front of me and I'm like reading it, kind of like, what's that saying? Or what's that showing me? Symbols, imagery. But also I will hear things, so clairaudience, so different guides, spirits, and energies will communicate to me and through me. And with this challenge, also I'm in my pajamas and I took a bath. So please, I encourage you to also do the same tonight. If you have a bath or a shower, you can get nice and cozy and like release energy. I think that would be really beautiful and helpful with this transmission. But yeah, so I will receive things clairaudiently, and sometimes spirits and things will talk to me. And so with this challenge, I asked that I could be just like a channel for the energy and the messages that are important to share right now, and the transmissions to move through me. So sometimes we'll do like more of a guided meditation, like we'll do a short one at the end of this. But other times it's going to be more just like talking and sharing messages. So if you haven't watched the first video, you can go back, or you can watch it at a later time. You can hop in and watch these out of order, just whatever comes across your YouTube feed. Smash that subscribe button and the likes. Like, if you like these videos, please do subscribe, because it helps the channel grow. And I have tons and tons of videos. I've just been doing it for years, and recently I decided that I want to take this more seriously, in terms of getting like the videos out on a regular basis. So I wanted to rise to the occasion of this challenge, because I also wanted to hold space for allowing the frequency of oneness love, oneness vibration, healing, God source frequency to move through me, so that I can also like hold space for others on their pathway of psychic and spiritual development. I teach Reiki and psychic development, all sorts of cool classes, but I wanted to be able to share some little things for people who are all around the world or whatever. So, my friend gave me these cards. They're called Loving Messages from the Highest Self Oracle cards. Love has no conditions. And the artist, the creator of this is Metaphysical, Intuitive, and Channel Stephanie Kato. So, if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic. The camera's not. Can you see? I think it's backwards anyway, so I'll post on the YouTube. I have a clock somewhere that has a timer, and somehow the timer just got pushed. The button just got pushed somewhere. And my cat's sleeping over there, so I feel like that's been happening a lot recently, so I think there's something malfunctioning with the clock. But I do feel like sometimes when things like that happen, like a doorbell rings. Who rings doorbells anymore? But like a doorbell rings, that's my example that I'm getting. A doorbell rings, or your phone rings, or an ambulance comes by, and like it was kind of like almost the cherry on top of what you were just thinking, or the conversation you were just having. So I feel like sometimes that's a spiritual confirmation, like the little alarm going off. But I do think that was just a coincidence, but it does remind me of the example. So let's get our loving message. And we're going to pick 3 cards. And they say they're going to be all together. So when I pull cards, I will get messages, audible messages of like how to shuffle them, like when to stop, like numbers in my head of like pick 2 cards, like it kind of is always an instructional information that I'll receive from Spirit in order to pick the cards. Also, when I work with people in person, I think it's really fun to have them pick the card, because I feel like it helps build their confidence when they see, oh, this message is like on point, quote unquote, for what I'm receiving. So we're going to read these, and they're a little long, so let me get a sip of water first. These are our messages, and this is the first message, the first one to come out. So if you'd like, let's just take a deep breath before we receive these messages from Spirit, being reminded that love has no conditions, and God has no conditions for his, her, they, them love. I feel like God has no gender, but his is just like, it comes out, it rolls off the tongue. But I don't think God is that way. Is like a man in the sky with a beard. But however you perceive it, it's Gucci with me if you're Gucci with me. So let's take a deep breath. And here's our message from Spirit. But yeah, the message I'm getting before I read this is there is nothing that you have to do in order to receive love. Like, there isn't a certain way that you need to be, and especially heavy, I'm hearing heavy on there isn't a certain way that you need to look in order to receive love. And I'm like hearing like the romantic love, like you don't need to look a certain way or be a certain way. You just need to align with what is right, quote unquote, for you, what feels good for you, and also moving out of the old stories in your mind of that you don't deserve things, or that you have to. It just keeps coming back about like work hard in order to receive, or you have to do things in order to receive the unconditional love. So I think it's important for people to tap in with God's source. Let's not say it. Goddess, oneness, love, for themselves, to be able to continue to get more and more comfortable with this experience of unconditional love, so that when that type of love comes into your life, whether that's romantic, friendship, your children, if you have them, or pets, when those kinds of loves come into your life, those relationships, you're able to actually experience it and receive it without like creating this force field and this barrier, because it's so uncomfortable. So it's almost like we're priming our system to be able to receive that frequency of Reiki, God, source frequency within our relationships in our life. So ideally, we would constantly be channeling that frequency. But again, we live as humans in the universe with the duality. So we're not always in that experience of unconditional love. And therefore, it can be uncomfortable. Therefore, we need to keep continuing to break down those barriers of discomfort, of shyness. A lot of it is like shyness of like, this feels weird and I don't like it, because it is new and different. And that's not every experience where you need to just push through when it feels uncomfortable. But for this particular experience, they're talking about, it's really only uncomfortable because you're not used to it and you haven't seen it or felt it at this capacity before. And perhaps you've gotten glimmers of it throughout your life. But it's time to open up more and more and more. And yesterday the messages were a lot around the solar plexus. Today it's a lot around the throat and the heart, higher heart, like in between. What is this called? The thymus? The thymus? Okay. A lot is happening, so let me just read these messages. Taking a deep breath. Choose love only. Your suffering comes from fear-based beliefs, such as, I feel safe when I attach others and things to have... Wait, I can't read. I'm seeing too many things right now. Hold on. Let's try that one more time. Cheers to me if you're drinking some water. Maybe have a little tea, a little matcha. It's nighttime for me, so water and chamomile tea. Choose love only. Your suffering comes from fear-based beliefs, such as, quote unquote, I feel safe when I attach to others and things, or have them attached to me. I must control others and my life to get my needs met. Others need to change so I am happy and safe. Leading with fear-based control will cost you peace and keep the fear alive. So this is an affirmation for us. So I'm going to say it first, and then we'll say it together. I forgive myself for believing I am safer choosing fear. I am love. So together, or let's do a repeat after me, because I don't think you guys memorized it that quickly. So repeat after me. I forgive myself for believing I am safer choosing fear. I am love. One more time together. I am love. Okay, our second message. One of the perceptions causing you so much suffering is victim mentality. This is so... Damn! Boom! They got us. One of the perceptions causing you so much suffering is victim mentality. Victim mentality says you are not responsible for what your life looks like, especially if you are unhappy. Somehow, some way, it is another person's fault or responsibility. The path to freedom and joy can never be found in victim mentality. You set up soul contracts with others to mirror you and practice daily self-forgiveness and unconditional love. So these are our affirmations. This one's long, so we'll just do a repeat after me after I read it. I forgive myself for believing I should listen to my ego mind. There is no freedom in victim. I forgive myself for holding onto my anger and resentment from the past. I am love. So repeat after me. We'll do it in chunks. I forgive myself for believing I should listen to my ego mind. There is no freedom in victim. I forgive myself for holding onto anger and resentment from my past. I am love. The alarm's going off, and that's the message. The alarm's going off. Bing, 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 ding, ding, ding. The alarm's going off. The alarm's going off. That's the message. There is no freedom in being a victim. And sometimes we need, like, fucked up shit happens. Sorry, YouTube, but fucked up shit happens all the time. And you can't just necessarily be like, I am love after, like, you got fucking bashed in the face or something. But eventually we need to move on from things that happen in order to be able to make space for our healing. So sometimes that involves us processing and moving through it, and sometimes that involves us finding another way and another pathway for our healing outside of just like processing it in therapy or like speaking and talking about it. Like maybe it's healing like somatically or moving into some kind of shamanic practice or something like that. Our last message, and we're not doing a meditation because the video is too long, so we're already getting the transmission, the energy's already moving through us. The video's already at 30 minutes, so we're getting what we already need to receive. And I'm also feeling like nauseous, and I'm picking up a lot of like nausea and like discomfort with the victim stuff, especially like it can feel so uncomfortable to look at ourselves too sometimes. And I'm feeling like the nausea is like a symbol sometimes of the discomfort that sometimes happens when looking at oneself from the perspective of freedom. Because you've only been able to associate yourself with a certain experience or framework, and especially like lifestyle, I'm hearing too. So last message for tonight, and we're going to close out. You are not alone. You never were. You believed it because you experienced loneliness and deep emotional pain. My love for you is infinite, and I've never left you. I've held you through it all, loving you, supporting you, and at times standing back so you could have experiences your soul intended to have. So here's our affirmation. I forgive myself for believing in separation from my highest self. I forgive myself for choosing fear. I am love. So repeat after me. I forgive myself for believing in separation from my highest self. I forgive myself for choosing fear. I am love. I am love. I am love. So if you'd like, you can just close your eyes. We're just going to complete this transmission. So the energy is flowing as we discussed in the beginning, from the top of the feet, or the bottom of the feet to the top of the head and back down again, circulating as we're surrounded by this healing light. We ask that any energy we moved or shifted through this conversation, this transmission today, is released into the light, into that white light, to be transformed. Doesn't have to stay with you, me, or in the space of the digital, virtual space, the space I'm in, the space you're in, the space you are in, wherever you're watching this. We ask that this healing transmission to continue to flow individually for all of us as long as it needs to integrate. Giving love, thanks for the messages that came forward. Thanks you to the guides, spirits, loved ones, God's source, and of course the universe, the duality of the universe, the space where we can create within. And thank you for watching this video. Love to hear about your experience, so if you want to comment, let me know. Anything that came up for you. Reach out on Instagram if you want to talk about it more in depth. I'm under the same name, but there's a period. Angel Face, period, Grace. So thank you so much. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks, so be it, so it is. The transmission is complete. It was interesting. Woohoo! I felt a lot moving and clearing, even though we're just sitting here and chatting and talking. I hope that you felt some of that too. And if, again, any comments, questions of the like, reach out to me, and I'll put an image of these cards, these deep messages calling us out on Instagram and then here on YouTube. So see you in the next video. Bye.